Welcome to episode 8 of Ask Miko Sex, Sports, and Everything in Between. I'm back again with another guest this week, and I think we're going to have a little bit of fun. And since this is episode 8, the irony of Donovan Williams being number 8 of the Golden State Warriors.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
I'm
that.
so glad you came on. This is so dope. This is so dope. How's everything? You good?
Yeah, everything's been great. Just traveling, moving around, getting through, preseason and training camp. It's been a lot, but it's been fun.
You ready to have some fun?
I am ready to have some fun. Let's do this.
So you didn't get any. I always like to say this up front, whether or not you know how it happened. You didn't get any questions early. You don't know any of these questions.
I don't know. I don't know any of the questions. So whatever you, whatever you ask me is my true, authentic, raw reaction.
Yes. So you see, it's called sex, sports, and everything in
And
between.
everything in between. Okay.
So it's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna be
probably like,
fun. I'm excited.
I'm not putting my glasses on. Auntie got bad vision,
Okay.
so I want to get these questions right. I want people to think I can't read. All right. First question of every episode with a guest is, how did we meet?
So me and you met in Vegas. I remember it was summer league, my rookie year coming in, and then I know we had like some mutual friends at the time. So
Mhm.
I think as we met, we just followed each other and kind of just kept up with each other. So I'm
Ah,
up to speed.
you up to speed? Yes,
Yeah,
that was a fun Vegas trip, man. When I ran into you,
yeah.
that was
I mean
cool. We had
that was my
that
first
was
summer
your
league. So
yeah.
I was just out. I mean, I met so many people that summer, and just in that time frame that it was like, you know, my head was on the swivel. I was just meeting everybody. So it was funny that I was actually able to keep up with you and our the people that we knew mutually. So that was cool.
Okay, cool. So do you want these questions to be like random, like all over the place, or do you want like an order? What would you suggest?
Um, I mean, random is fine. It keep me on my toes.
All right, let's do random then. I
Yeah.
want to push through them just however they came through. All right.
All right.
Okay. I
Oh
love this
man.
question.
Oh
When
man.
when you're in a relationship, how do you decide when it's time to go raw? I love my followers, yo.
Yeah. I mean,
This shit is so good. What do you
um,
think?
honestly, I feel like that's up to you and your partner. I think that's a conversation that has to be had between two people. I don't think you should surprise. It's not one of the things you could just surprise somebody with. But I mean, I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I would personally say it's different for everybody. Um, but I think ultimately it just comes down to whatever you and your partner are comfortable with.
So you're of the younger generation, right? Are
Yeah.
y'all getting STD tests these days? Is that a vibe?
I mean, I don't know if that's the norm. I mean, I know I do, but I don't know if that's just. I don't know if everybody's just out here doing that, so I can't speak for everybody else that's out here.
Damn, yeah, I come from the era of well, I think women actually get tested, men don't. Y'all just hope
I
and
think it's.
pray you ain't
I mean,
got nothing.
I think it's like the more we go through, and as the generations go on, it gets a little less destigmatized. I think a lot of times people look at it as a negative thing. Um,
Mhm.
and more so saying like, okay, if you go get tested, there's something wrong with you. But I think a lot of times it has that same stigma as like counseling or like therapy. You know what I'm saying? Where
Mhm.
people feel like if you're doing it, then something's wrong. And a lot of times it could just be preventative. Like if you are with somebody and you're doing that, then like there's nothing wrong with it. If you have a sore throat or if got allergies, you're gonna go check and see if you're sick.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, I mean, that's still part of your health as well. So, I just think everybody, I mean, I would hope that as we go along, it gets less, um, or more destigmatized from what it has been in the past.
Yeah, man, that was a crazy first question. All right.
Okay,
Uh,
I see where
what
this is headed.
what famous or popular person do you wish you could tell to shut the fuck up?
Ooh. Um,
I'm gonna answer some of these with you, by the way. You want me to go first?
I I personally wish, like, here's the thing. I love Taylor Swift. I just wish the NFL would just get, more focused. Like, it's like we see more Taylor Swift highlights than Chiefs highlights. So I just,
Mm,
I think the NFL could, you know, but I also think it's a, it's a benefit on both sides. From Taylor's perspective, getting a lot of NFL fans, and from the NFL side, getting a lot of Taylor Swift fans. But I think and nowadays you can't really tell nobody to shut. You can't really tell nobody to shut up. They got too
yeah,
many outlets, too many. Everybody feels like their opinion
platforms
is
and
important.
everything.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, if I could tell somebody to shut the fuck up, it would probably be Charleston White. Now, hear me out. Just hear me out. Because although he says a lot of true shit and real shit, I don't want nothing coming from this man. Like nothing. Some of the things that I heard about him doing, raping women and all the weirdo shit that he's done in the past. Like, I remember somebody telling me, like, oh, well, he said he only rapes white girls. And I'm like, so I'm supposed to be cool with that? Like, that's weird nigga energy to me. So I just don't feel like anything that comes out of his mouth, give me a different messenger. That's all I want to say.
Right message, wrong
Yeah,
messenger.
wrong nigga. So yeah, he get on nerves. But
Okay, I can live with that one though.
yes. Next question. Name a TV show you watch faithfully that people wouldn't believe you're obsessed with.
Friends.
You a Friends watcher?
Friends is my favorite TV show of all time.
Really?
Like, I'm one of those people that, like, wholeheartedly, I'll go. That's a hill that I'll die on. Like, I've
Friends
watched
is it.
all 10 seasons, all the episodes. I know it. Like, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's dope. Mine is Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. I don't think I've watched Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is such a, like, you would think like if you were to think of like a favorite TV show of someone, it would be like a white offensive lineman in the NFL. Like, you would think like Yellowstone is their favorite movie, their favorite show, whatever. But I'm obsessed with this show.
What is it about?
So it's about it's based in Montana. And so they have a lot of Native American reserves and people living off the land, and then they have the Yellowstone Park, all the cattle and the
Okay.
herd and the cowboys, and
Yeah.
like, so it's just a battle between the natives and the white man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And
I
but
peep the
in
vibe.
today's times, like in current times, like fighting over the oil, the land for oil, like
Okay. Yeah, I
it's
peep the vibe. I might have to tap in on that. What is that
yeah,
on?
Paramount.
Paramount.
Yeah,
I gotta check. That might be one of the accounts I don't have.
yeah. I can give you my login. I got you. I share my shit with everybody. You know,
Hey,
since
I
us
think
all,
that.
since us all paying for this shit.
Hey, I think once you pay for an account, it's like you gotta just go ahead and bless everybody else. At least
Yeah,
1 to 2 people.
yeah. hmm All right, next question. What is the best and worst gift someone has ever gotten you?
Um, the best and worst gift. Ooh, I don't know what I don't know what the worst gift somebody's ever gotten me would be. Um, I would say the best gift I've gotten. Um, yeah, that's a great question though,
You can't
because
think of anything?
if you think, like, as a man, you don't really get gifts a lot.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
sad because that is, I feel you. I hear that a lot from men. That's crazy. And like Father's Day, when
yeah,
like,
as a man, you don't get gifts a lot. Like even like on your birthday, like for my birthday this year, like I didn't get a gift for my birthday this year. So like I can't even think about this year.
damn, you didn't get a birthday gift?
No, I didn't get a birthday gift this year. I mean, it was just
Yeah, Donovan, you ain't got no hoes.
nah, I didn't get a
What's
birthday gift
going
this year.
on? What's happening in your life right now that you ain't got no woman trying?
My rookie year, because I had saved up a lot of my money, and that was kind of a goal for me. Uh,
Wow.
once I finished my rookie year was to get a car. So I actually went in. I was gonna get a different car, and then I ended up seeing that one when I went to dealership, and I kind of like I went home and then I reassessed, myself, and then I kind of figured out if I was gonna be able to do it, and I just did it. Sometimes it's just like, like I earned it.
Treat
So that
yourself.
was,
You've been
yeah, that
working
was.
hard. You should treat yourself,
Yeah,
basically.
so that was my favorite gift because that's my baby. I got it wrapped and everything. It's customized. Like it's a 1-on-1 for sure. So
Okay.
that's that's probably my
So
favorite.
you can't even give a worse gift because you don't even get gifts. Worst gifts is
Yeah.
that you who let me not say whoever you, is sliding is failing, okay?
Failing miserably, right?
Failing miserably. You know what? But I want to get to my best and worst gift. I'm gonna say my best gift, honestly, is my son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never really wanted to be a mother. I never wanted to have children, like
Yeah.
get married, like none of that. And so Brent kind of talked me into it, which is dope. Like
That's
I
what's up.
can't even imagine not being a mom now. Like I just thinking about my life right now and be like, damn, what the fuck would I be doing with myself if I didn't like if I wasn't a mom? Like I don't know what I'd be doing. Like
That's
it's
what's up.
such a big part of my life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
That's a lot of love right there, though. So I feel you on that.
yeah. And worst gift, I don't know,
See, I feel
man.
like you get a lot of gifts, so this should be easy for you.
I do get a lot of gifts, but I think worst gifts is probably like I got a thing about getting like, and Brent learned this. I got a thing about getting like purses as a gift.
You don't like purses?
Nah, just buy me a purse. Like I don't want that to be like my birthday present or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you just buy it, like that's a that's just Tuesday here. You
It
know what I'm
don't need to
saying?
be a gift. A purse don't need to be a gift.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It just
Okay.
seems
That's valid.
so thoughtless. Because what you know about a purse as a man? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
What you
Nothing
doing?
really.
Yeah. So
Nothing
I
really
just
at all.
oh yeah, I don't like in person. I like thoughtful gifts. You know, it don't have to be expensive.
But
It just
something
has to
that's
be
like personal
thoughtful.
to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we since we was talking about this, we're gonna jump over to this question right here. Are you in a relationship? I think you got some admirers that snuck in a couple of these questions. We gonna see how they roll in, but
Nah.
are you? Let me get my Birdman hand rub in.
Nah.
Are you in a relationship?
Yo, you gotta chill.
The ladies want to know. I got this question several times.
Nah, I'm actually not. I actually, I mean, not recently, but as of a couple months ago, I have a relationship that I was in last season. So Um, I've been,
Chilling.
just doing the single thing. Like I said, went this summer and bought me a house, bought me a car, um, and kind of just taking it day by day. No, I wouldn't say I'm not looking, but I'm also not like chasing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still focused on the grind. So I think people say that all the time. Like when you, as a man, like when you focus on yourself, like the right woman to come. So a lot of times as men, you get too focused on trying to find the right woman and not trying to find yourself, as if that makes sense. So I think the more you find yourself, the easier it is for the right woman to find you. I think, but
So I got a question for you. You're 22, right?
yeah.
Are you really trying to find the right woman right now?
I mean, that's why I say like I'm really not like I'm not rushing it. I'm not. What I will say is that I'm not mentally in the space like I was when I was 18. You know what I'm saying, or like when I
Okay.
just got to college. But like I've had a lot happen to me over not in a negative way, but I've had a lot. I've matured a lot, should I say, um, over the last like 2 to 3 years. So where I'm at, like mentally in the headspace, is blocking in and being the best version of myself first. Like I think that's I think that's the biggest thing that I'm focused on. I'm not really focused on like finding the right woman or you know hoping the right woman
Mhm.
finds me anytime soon. I kind of let it be what it is. I understand that I am young, so I'm not rushing the process, but I'm also just not out here just what's the what is it, single and ready to mingle.
Mm.
So
You you ain't out here, but you got to be out here chicken and dicking.
yeah.
You gotta be. So I'm gonna give you some advice, okay? Wrap
Yo,
it up.
yo,
PET, wrap it up, okay? Donovan, let's be smart. Okay. I know you outside having a little fun with the ladies. You're gonna be in a relationship, but wrap it up. Do not have any children this young. It could really change the trajectory of your life.
that
I'm
makes
just
a lot
giving
of
you some
sense.
real nigga advice.
That makes a lot of sense. I,
Okay.
I, I always get that advice too, so I always keep that advice close to
Okay.
me.
Good. All right, I had jumped off track, so we're gonna get
Yeah,
back
I'm
on
on the way
track.
off track.
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is the next question. Uh, give the ladies some relationship advice.
um,
So,
I think the
mm,
biggest relationship advice I could say for women is just be more open and taking accountability for the way you make your man feel. I think sometimes
mm.
in relationships it's hard as a man to really express like concerns or you know
Give us an
dissatisfaction because
example. Give me an example because I need to know what you mean by that. Like,
okay, like for example, like if when like and this is on like this comes like I say this comes from my own personal experience, so I can't speak for everyone.
mm-hmm.
um but like if you're a woman and the way you come into like meeting your man or um when y'all are dating, like say you like, okay, I'm gonna cook for him a lot. I'm gonna show him that, I'm not just somebody that just want to go out to dinner all the time. Like I can cook, I can do this, all this, like that.
She want to show she's not just a bill.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So okay,
Okay.
cool. So then you get into a relationship, and I mean it's prevalent with athletes for sure. But it's like you get into this life, and it is very fast paced. You're going to games, you're doing this, you're traveling, all that, and so it gets to a point where it's like you know if as a man I come to you one day and I'm just like, hey, you don't cook as much as you used to. Um,
Hey, listen, you
it's
gotta
like,
speak up. Close what they say, closed mouths don't get fed.
and it's I mean it's sometimes hard. Like that's just one example, but it's sometimes hard just as a man because just as women it's so easy for y'all to just throw it right back on us. Well, I don't do this because you did this, or if you would do this, then I could do this, and it's like okay, well now somehow it's my fault that I'm not satisfied. Okay, well, let me not just say nothing. And I think a lot of men kind of internalize and do that at times. But
Mm.
I think the best thing for a relationship is open communication and just being like, hey, okay, maybe I'm not. Because as a man, we have to do that all the time. Like whenever y'all come to us and be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I'm not satisfied with this. I need you to do this. I need this. Like as a man, we gotta look ourselves in the mirror. And we gotta be like, all right, I gotta tighten up. I gotta. I mean, if you're a good man, you know what I'm saying. You're gonna look yourself in the mirror. You be like, I gotta tighten up. I gotta do this. Maybe I ain't been on my P's like I'm supposed to. If you come and say you don't take me out enough no more. You don't court me like you did when we were first dating.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to, be mindful of that. So if I feel like as a man, if you say, sometimes it's not always a two-way street, and I think, it's easy for some women to always just your first response is, oh well, I don't cause you or cause this or cause this, and it's never like, all right,
Yeah. Like
maybe I
accountability, like, let me, because I hate that too. I hate like
yeah
a relationship where you bring up an issue with somebody and then they gotta bring up an issue they had with you that they never brought it before. And it's like, no, I
yeah
have the floor. I
yeah.
have the floor.
Yeah, and that's really and that and that really does get frustrating as a partner from whatever side you're on, like because you never really feel like you can be open, with your partner, because then it's like, are you like now it's like you bringing up something that I did 5 months ago that I didn't even know bothered you. Whatever I'm talking about just happened today, so now it's like before we can even address what my concern or whatever I had going on, it's
Yeah.
like now
Yeah.
now I'm back in a
Now the
position
focus
where
is
it's
back on is on her. Yeah.
yeah, like how men have that running joke where it's like it don't matter what go on, oh you always wrong, you all like and that's fine, or whatever, to each his own. But I think the healthiest way is just to be able to, you know, if I was to give, like you asked, women in relationship advice, I would just say to be more mindful of that. If you ever like feel like, sometimes like, man, my man, he don't talk to me that much, or he don't open up. You gotta sometimes,
Mhm.
make him feel comfortable enough to, because some women don't even realize that they are walls. Like I'm talking to a brick wall. I might as well not even say nothing. Like some women don't understand.
Damn.
They're not even mindful of it. They're not even aware of that.
Damn. Well,
But
I'll be quick. The advice I would give men is, let me say this with a straight face. No matter what's going on, no matter how much beefing and arguing and disagreement, whatever's going on between y'all, keep the intimacy there. Keep it. Because once you lose that, it just makes everything else times 10. And I think a lot of men like shut down sometimes like that, and that's when they get to sliding,
mm-hmm.
and then they don't have no dick when they get home. It's a gummy worm. And like, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't slide out and neglect her. If you're gonna be sliding, make sure you got enough dick to go around. Okay?
that's a wild.
Yeah, that would be my advice. Don't don't neglect home,
No, hey, don't neglect home.
because you will lose home. Um, this is a really good question here. Are men today more feminine or are women today more masculine?
To be honest, I think it's a very very balanced mix of both. I think the more we push the women's empowerment, like women are more independent as they should be. Like women are more self sufficient, and I think a lot of times as we go and we keep talking about this mental health, like men are getting more in touch with their ability to like show their soft side and like
Mhm.
be more open and not just be like a jarhead or hold things in, because we talk about that a lot. Like we say, oh, men need to be more open, um, men need to do this more, and then I just hate the battle that it's on. I hate the way social media makes it feel, where it's like men are sassy and women are the new men. Like I don't believe in all that. I just think that, um, to be completely honest with you, I think it's just a very balanced mix of both. And I think to each his own. Like I think as men, it is a good thing that we are more in touch with our emotions and our ability to, communicate those effectively. Where more so as in the past, men were always taught to just suck it up, boys
Look
don't
it
cry,
up.
and
Keep it
everybody's
inside.
yeah, like everybody's been pushing that as like mental health wise for a man, and so I think that's been great. But I also think as a woman, like there's nothing wrong with being independent and strong, and feeling self sufficient. Um, but I mean, I I do think to each his own. Like you got to figure out what kind of when it comes to relationships, you got to figure out what kind of partner you're dealing with. Like if you're a strong, independent, self sufficient woman, and you gotta be with a man that can understand that. You can't be with a guy that has an ego complex or that has, you know, insecurities because that's what causes
Insecure.
problems for you. So,
Yeah.
so just be mindful of who you with. Like understand who am I as a person? Where do I fall in that category? And then who is this other person I'm with? Because I'm not gonna be with nobody. Like even as a man, you don't want to be with a woman that's gonna make you feel like a you don't want to be with a woman that's gonna call you sassy for just telling her how you feel. Like you don't want to do that because it's gonna make you it's gonna make you just internalize even more. So just be mindful.
Yeah. I think the sassy, zesty era right now that we're in is louder.
Yeah,
That's what the problem is. It's not really. I think the women are more masculine today because the zest and the sass is deafening. It's
but see,
deafening.
that's what I don't get though. Like I don't I don't get what makes what is I don't get it.
Well, I don't think that someone telling you how they feel is considered zesty or sassy. I think that it's like I'll keep hearing stuff like men are saying that they're the prize. I heard this on a podcast and it just made my stomach turn. I was just like,
And that's why I say like that's where it's that battle because it's
ugh.
like
Like
now
just
like
saying that as a man, like how do you let's say you are in your relationship. You
hmm
I feel men can be the prize, but when did it become manly to say that?
yeah, I mean, it's just like it's an unwritten thing. Like, I mean, that's why I say like, I feel like it's social media's fault. Like everybody's. It's a battle between men and women nowadays between who the boss and who this. Men are jealous of women because women get to go out and just be cute and get everything for free, so they jealous that they gotta go out. It's a lot. So I mean, that's why I say you gotta.
That's sassy as fuck.
That shit like
I think that the gender roles thing plays into it. Like some people want gender roles when it's convenient for whatever their
of
narrative
course,
is. You know what I'm
of
saying?
course,
Like
of
you can't be upset that women want to be get everything free and taken care of when that's really like what men are naturally supposed to do is provide.
of
You
course.
know?
I mean, to be honest, like it's the way it is because people have made it the way it is. If men went out here tricking, then women wouldn't be used to just going out and getting
And
stuff for
getting
free.
what they
Like
want.
we've
Yes.
set the standard, so it's like
Yes.
now we want to backtrack. Like that ain't
Yes.
really our fault. That's really our pops and our grandpa's fault. Cause it be them old guys. It be them old guys out buying. Here, baby, here go my card. Like
Mhm.
and so that became cool. And so like that's you see the celebrities talk about it and you want to live that lifestyle. Like I want to have all the women around me. So I just want to that's what guys do. They just spend the money. So like we let our friends do that. We've let that standard become the norm. So I mean
Gotta live
now
up
we
to it
mad
now.
that women now we all women they just leave the house, no purse, no wallet, just vibes. Like they
Just
can do
vibes and titties.
that. like they could do that. Like
We outside with
we're
vibes and titties, baby. What's up?
I mean, the thing
Who
is,
want to
like,
spoil me?
like, if they were to do that and then they go out and it doesn't work for them, then of course the next time they're like, okay, well, let me bring my wallet. But if they do it and it works because some guy did like fell right into it, then next time she gonna do it again. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's the standard that we've set, so we can't complain.
What would you think of a man that went outside with just vibes? Like,
A lot of them do. Like you
wait
ever,
for,
you
wait,
ever,
it's even worse when they expect they homeboy to pay for everything.
yeah, yeah, like that. That's what I say. Like it
Their
happens all the
homeboy that
time.
got bread, their homeboy that got his life together and everything, and you out every night just vibes, and your boy picking up the bill. That's weird to me.
It happens all the time.
I know.
Like that's why I
Um,
say we can't be mad. Like because I mean it happens
yeah.
every day from both sides.
Yes. So speaking of sassy, no, I'm just playing. This don't. This is not sassy. I was just fucking with you. This is not sassy. What's a song by a woman that you sing with your whole heart?
Um, I feel like any Alicia Keys song you gotta sing with your whole heart. Um,
Okay.
Currently, Snooze by SZA, of course,
Okay, that's a good one.
of course. Um, Let me
Do you
see.
listen to any 80s or 90s R&B?
I do actually. I listen to a lot of I wouldn't say 80s, but I would say 90s for sure. Um,
What about Anita Baker? Do you know any Anita Baker songs?
I
Okay.
couldn't tell you the names, but like if I heard the song, then I could sing
You
you
want me
the
to play one? No.
I mean, you could like like that's why I say my parents are
My age, right? How old is your mom?
my mom's fifth. My both my parents are actually 58. My dad
Oh, they're older than me.
today's actually my dad's birthday. So my dad just
Oh, happy birthday, Pops.
yeah happy birthday to my dad out
Libra
there.
gang. I love
Yeah.
Libras.
So my dad just turned 58. So my mom turns 59 next month. So
Oh, so your
I'm
parents are older
I'm
than me.
quiet. I'm quiet storm. Late nights on the way home. I'm one of like in Houston. I'm R&B stations on the way to school, early mornings after school. So I grew up listening to a lot of R&B more than I listen to like even now I listen to more R&B than I listen to just straight rap for real.
Okay. Uh, let's see. Next question. What you over there tapping on?
This little football.
Oh, that's a football. Oh, okay. Um, I don't want to go in. Should we do some basketball? It's a basketball question next. Should we do it? Fuck it. Let's do
Okay,
it.
we ain't got no
It
basketball
says,
yet.
huh?
I said this probably be the first one.
Yes, yes, yes. So it says, we know who you have coming out of the West, but who do you have coming out of the East?
Um, to be honest, I still like the Celtics. I mean, I think they're a team they're deep, they're dynamic, they're this league is really built on size. So to have, Drew Holiday at point, you got JT and JB on the wings. Adding Kristaps Porzingis is actually it gives them a little bit. Um, it makes their offense a little bit more dynamic, and he's a rim protector too. So I was wondering what the trade off would be, like losing Rob Williams, because he was really big for their defense. But
Mhm.
I think if Porzingis can pick up the load from um, Rob Williams, and then of course we know Drew Holiday can pick up the slack from Marcus Smart. So I think the Celtics are still they've been my favorite to come out the East the last like 2 3 years. So it's just
Oh,
they actually can crack through, but they gotta go through us though. When
that's
it's
what I'm
all
saying.
said.
I feel like you picked them because y'all could beat them. That's why you picked them.
Nah, I mean I think they're a great team. Like even a couple.
But, but,
I mean
but
I'm biased, of course.
we all watched the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We all were there. And
Yes.
we saw niggas were funny in the light. Niggas got funny in the light to me. You know what I'm saying? And just to see that Miami team skate through the East like that, how disrespectful.
I mean with that,
Personally, the Sixers should be ashamed of themselves. The fucking Celtics should be ashamed of themselves. And the only reason the Bucks are getting the pass, which is who I have coming out of the East, is because Giannis was injured,
Yeah.
right? So I think that was started the whole road for Miami catching the Bucks injured,
Mm-hmm.
then catching the Knicks. Like that's a fucking lottery ticket, right? And then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals and you get funny and the light niggas
Yeah,
to
I mean
win.
that's why I say, I mean, on paper, I still like them. I still like them to win. Now at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to, in between the lines. The
Yeah,
paper, the rosters can only carry you so far. Like that's why everybody
yeah,
does all the strategy. The front office, everybody put their rosters together, and you put together the best group of talent that feel like it's gonna that you feel like it's gonna give you the best chance to win the championship. And at the end of the day, they got to go out there and do it. So, I mean, last year Jimmy
yeah.
just wanted it more than everybody. It seemed like so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At the
It
end of
was
the day, it's still
crazy. It
basketball.
was a great route. Let's not act like the route wasn't like
Yeah,
lit. Like that's the best case scenario for them coming through the East is catching the teams that they caught.
and that's
You
all
know?
it's really about. Like
Yeah,
you catch people when they hurt, and that's why everybody says the best. The best ability is availability. Like when you get to the playoffs, you want to have your full team. If you can't, then if your team ain't healthy and mine is, they ain't on this.
that
It's
shit's
time.
still with me.
It's championship time.
Good luck next year.
That's
Right.
like going to the park with a sore ankle and be like, "Hey, take it easy on me." Like, nah, bro.
Get off
You
the
the one
court.
came out here to play
Yeah.
pickup. Anybody taking it easy on you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Bucks still coming out the East. I mean, they were first place last year, and now they added Dame Dollar.
Yeah, that's tough.
His championship or bust, or at least the Eastern Conference for them.
Yeah.
It's several monsters in that West Coast. I ain't even gonna get into that. I'm gonna let y'all have it. But yeah, the West Coast, the Western Conference is crazy,
The West
crazy.
is scary.
It's fucking nightmare. I'm just like, shit. You just don't know. It's just whoever catch fire first, whoever click up first. Like it could be anybody, and that's no disrespect to Denver because I do have them as the favorite. Like you got to go see that monster, and
Hmm.
nobody can see him last year. So
You gotta give them their respect. You got to.
yeah, yeah. hmm Um, it's a good segue right here. What's an uncomfortable truth you had to accept about yourself?
Hmm. That's a great question. Hmm.
I'll go first. An uncomfortable truth I had to accept about myself is like I'm not gonna be liked by everybody because I'm not likable in that way. Like people
Hmm.
like people that are fake, that make them feel good, that lie a little bit, like sugarcoat and all that. And I'm just so raw, and I don't mind it. I like that about myself, but it's very sometimes it causes problems, in my life,
Hmm.
and I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I accept that I'm not normal. I'm difficult. I'm a lot, and it's who I am. And sometimes it's gonna get in the way of some things, but I always say if something's meant to be for me, then it'll be. You
Yeah.
know, I've had several situations where I couldn't get certain work done or deals done because of my polarizing personality. You know, so but it is what it is.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I think I would follow, like, I think my answer would kind of follow along those lines, like understanding that, like, the lifestyle that I've chosen is what it is, and as much as I wanna, you know, be the perfect person for everybody, like, just everybody around you, like friends, family, you want to be there. You want to be there for the people um, that you meet, and the people that you love, and everything, everybody in between. I think the uncomfortable truth is that you know you kind of, this lifestyle that you live is very lonely, being a professional athlete, and so it's hard bringing somebody um, within that, and just anybody, whether it's a friend, a significant other, anybody that you meet, like, it's a tough life. You live on the road a lot. You know, you're
Mhm.
barely home. Days are long. You're not very communicative just because you're tired. Like it's a lot that goes into it. Like I think a lot of times, like even me and my teammates talk, like we get paid less for basketball and more for everything else. You know, being a
Mhm.
professional athlete, everything that goes into all of that. So I think the uncomfortable truth is just that, you know, finding myself first, and then kind of just letting everything else kind of just fall where it may. Because like with everybody else, you can kind of like if you were someone else, you can kind of plan your life out a little bit. You know, you can be like, okay, I want to move to, you know, I want to move to LA and I want to
Right.
do this and I'm gonna go work here and I'm gonna do this. Realistically, being a professional the uncomfortable truth about that life, and that it is glamorous, that everybody sees the the great things about it. Oh, you get to live this life. You're always on the road. You get to see a bunch of beautiful things. But a lot of times you kind of crave that stability that, you know, quote unquote normal people get to have, where it's like, okay, I go to the same job every day. My life is in this city. This is where my family lives. I get to see my family day in and day out. For a professional athlete, it's just not like that.
Right. Okay. This is going to be a fun segue. I see what the algorithm is doing here. Do you prefer older or younger women, and what age is too old and too young?
Wow. Um, now, personally, I prefer older women. um,
Okay.
but that's just my own personal preference. Just because I feel like older women have had the time to do a lot. Like they've had more life experience. They've been through things that have kind of helped them find themselves. So,
Hmm.
you know, when you're in a relationship with and dealing with, you know, a woman and you're a man who kind of is in tune with his emotions and you are, you know, strong minded and you have a lot of things going for yourself and you're not just out here on some little boy stuff, like it you kind of want somebody that's on that same level, in terms of communication, um, and just being able to hold a conversation. I think a lot of times, you know, for me, like I've just naturally, and to be completely honest with you, it's not just specific to even women. Like most of my friends, you know, even through sports, like I always hung out with the guys that were older than me. A lot of my friends, male friends, are older than me. So, you know, I do a lot of old guy stuff when I hang out. Like the other day, I was hanging out with my teammates, and we was just all there playing dominoes. Like I'm 22, they 30, they like 35. They playing dominoes, and I thought about it. I'm like, it's some 22-year-olds somewhere in the league hanging out with a group of other 22-year-olds, and they like streaming, like playing a video game. Like that's what people my age really be doing. Like guys my age really be doing.
Yeah.
A lot of things that I do, I hang out with older guys, and so older guys make you more attracted to older women. So I mean, I think it goes hand in hand for me. But um, I mean,
So, what's too old?
I don't think there's. I mean, gosh, that's such a broad.
I don't
That's
think
such a broad question, though. Like, I
60.
mean,
60.
60 is for sure too old. Like,
Okay.
we're
50.
not going to 60. We're not going to
50.
60. 50 is too old because now you're like, now you're my mom's age. Like, well, like you're in the same 10 years of my mom. So that's gonna be it.
So 40.
Well, you know, well, I don't think for
I think we both know the answer to the younger is
I don't
18.
I don't think 40 is too old. Too young. I mean,
18. We gonna just leave it right there. We're not even
honestly, no. Like I wouldn't go no
right.
lower than me
Right.
personally. I wouldn't go no lower than 21 because I still feel like,
Okay.
you know, I never really understood that. You know, I've never really understood that infatuation with older guys, going for super young girls, because I still feel like just, you know, where I'm at with it, I don't think there's nothing wrong with like girls that are my age, like 21, 22, like, but I think any younger than that, you still got to give them time to find themselves, and it's hard being in a relationship with a woman that hasn't really found herself, because that just that just causes a lot of problems for you as a man who's kind of found himself. That's just a headache you don't really want.
So that's not really age. That's like more like I want to
That's life
say
experience, though. That's why
experience.
I say, like,
Yeah.
I'm 22, so like women, like older women, would feel the same way about me. Like, oh, you a young dude, like you don't really like,
Right.
you still wet behind the ears. Like, I hadn't heard all the cliches. Me personally, like I've
Hmm.
heard all the cliches. Like everybody know them all. So I mean, but that's why I say I can't. I don't really hold no judgment for like younger women versus older women. I just think that in my own experience, older women have a higher, you know, chance of being there, where like on that
Hmm.
same level, like mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally, spiritually, that I am.
Okay. Okay. Um, this is gonna get interesting. Jada Pinkett Smith opened up about her and Will's separation. Who is your fantasy married wife entanglement?
Fantasy married wife entanglement.
Yes, you know what that means?
So who would I want to be in an
Who wife,
entanglement
who
with?
wife, wait, let me put the camera back on us. Hold on.
You said what?
Who wife do you want to be the side nigga to?
Nobody.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Nobody comes to mind.
I
Okay.
don't want nobody's wife.
But what if they're separated?
I don't know who separated. So like that's why I'm saying I couldn't even. I don't know who like
She'd have to shoot her shot at you then, because you wouldn't shoot your shot at a married woman.
ever.
Okay.
Never.
She'd have to shoot her shot at you, and then
And
you
she'd have to tell she'd
tell
have
you
to
they
tell me
separated and
we
everything.
separated, because I'm not even gonna lie. Like that was one thing my parents always stressed to me. Like married men kill over their wife.
Oh,
Married men kill over their wife.
yeah,
Don't mess with nobody wife.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Over their family, they don't play about that. It don't matter
Don't
what's
mess with
going on.
nobody
Don't come over
wife.
here fucking on my woman now. I kill you.
Don't mess with nobody
And
wife.
some women kill over their man too.
Exactly. Do not mess with nobody that's
It's
married.
spicy. Yeah,
I don't want none of those problems at all.
yeah. What do you think about Jada? Kind of airing out, everything
I
that's
mean,
going on with her and Will. I know she's selling a book right now, but what like people have mixed feelings about it. So what is your opinion on Jada and her entanglement and everything that she's talking about now?
me personally, like as a man, I I would hope that if I was ever in a relationship, I that didn't happen to me. Like I don't, to each his own, and however they go about it is how they go about it. But me personally, like I wouldn't want that to happen to me, where we in a relationship and everybody gets to know all our business. Like even if we separated, whatever we doing, even if it's in the past, like no, I don't want that to happen. Like I don't want that to happen to me at all. Like I don't want people to know my business. Like if we
Yeah,
separated, we separated. If we divorce, we divorce. Like whatever the situation is, you know.
keep it in house.
Yeah, and I just think like
Well,
as
let me go ahead.
it's headlines you don't want. Like there's certain things like I guess I look at it from an athlete's perspective too. But
Yeah.
there's certain headlines you want, and then there's certain headlines you don't want. Those are a lot of headlines I would never want to be a part of.
Well, let me say this. Okay. Now, when you look back on some of the things that took place publicly in their relationship, the entanglement, let's just grab that real quick, right? Imagine not living with your husband. Y'all are separated and you fucking off with somebody, he got him somebody, your nigga just starts tripping and kind of airs you out, and the public just attacks you, right? Because it looked like you're cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even with your husband, and he don't even. I feel like as a man, and you're still in that protective mode of your woman, I feel like that would have been the time for him to say, well, we're separated. Like she called hell and they weren't even together.
That's valid.
So what's the problem?
And that's why I say, like, it's only a problem because everybody else now gets to have an opinion.
He played the role. He went on the red table talk and his feelings, and
exactly
that was all acting.
Exactly. See that, but that's why I say, like, people live a different lifestyle. Like, I don't. That's why I say they have the lifestyle that they live. But when you ask me my opinion, it's just like, me personally, it's like, those are games that I would stay away from playing, just because eventually it's not a game anymore. Like, somebody's feelings gonna get hurt. Like at some point, somebody's real life feelings gonna get hurt. Whether, like, it's a game, whether it's acting, whether we both benefiting from it, like whatever the glamour of it is at first, eventually the realness of it is gonna come out. And so I think that's just where I am with it. Like, if I was ever to be in their situation, like, I just hope we can handle everything in house. But everybody handles their business differently, and I try to stay out of it.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Let's see. This is a great question. Ooh. If she gets her lick back, is that grounds for a breakup?
Not really. I mean,
fair exchange.
Hey, I can't sit here and preach fairness and say yes. Like, I can't do that because now I'm a hypocrite. So, I mean,
That's
everybody's
mature of you to
relationship.
say that. That's very mature to call that you are a hypocrite. But niggas say double standards. Right?
I mean, and I get that, but me personally, I do understand that. If you have done it, you can't be a hypocrite. And now she ain't got her leg back, and now it's like, oh, I can't never be with you again. I get a lot of guys that like that.
Niggas kill me. Like, I can't fucking trust you. And this nigga got 7 bodies.
Like, come on, bro, be for real. Like, and like that's
come on.
That's
it's
the thing.
funny.
Like,
I get it, but men should be able to do it. I get it, but come on, like.
I mean, me personally, like, I don't get the double standard. Like,
you know what men say? Well, she stayed. Like, okay, I cheated 7 times. She stayed. She forgave me. She moved on. That don't mean you got to do it back.
Well, the thing is, like, if we didn't cheated 7 times and she didn't stay, and she cheat 1 time and we leave, then I mean, like, the love wasn't never equal. So it's like, if she love you enough to stay 7 times, now granted, everybody got to find a good dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the. Because if you stay 7 times, then that's on you. Like, that's definitely on you. But if you got you a good dummy that stayed with you for 7 times and you leave it the first time, it's like that love just wasn't equal. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I say, like, don't. I try, me personally, I try to stay away from being a hypocrite. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, it's grounds for a breakup, because it's not. Like, you would as a man, you would look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm wrong for that,
like,
as
damn.
you should.
Mm-hmm. We got a basketball question. Break up all this shit.
Drama.
How long before Chris Paul and Draymond Green get into some gangster shit?
I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think everybody thinks that's gonna happen, but at the end of the day, like, they were like that because they were competitors. Like, when you're on the other team, like, that's what it is. Like, we go when you on the Rockets. If you CP and you're on the Rockets, you're gonna go hard for the Rockets. If you Dre and you're on the Warriors, you're gonna go hard for the Warriors. So now that we all teammates, like, we gonna go hard against everybody else. Like, I think people looking for that drama and this. And I mean, I get it. People want to see that entertainment, but it's not that, man. Like, I see him all the time. Like, Dre literally, like, want to help him get his first ring. Like, so I mean, people gotta understand. Like,
I mean, that helps Draymond too, because They don't. You don't just give Chris Paul a fucking ring. Everybody gets one.
Yeah, I mean, people gotta understand, like we this is people's livelihood. So like when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's gonna be what it's gonna be when we opponents. But if you on my team, like we gotta go win the chip now together. We're not finna let nothing
Mm-hmm.
like that in the past stop us from winning the chip together. Now they grown men, they got families and everything. Ain't nobody finna do all that.
Mm. Well, I think everybody wants the drama. They're dying for it. They just
People love
dying
the
to be like,
drama. Like
"Ooh, they fighting. They not
it's
going to see.
like
They not going to the championship. They got beef in house."
people love the drama. They want to turn the NBA into reality TV so bad. And it's like, bro, we are human beings and this is our profession. Y'all just get to see it every day. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it'd be the same thing if like you literally just follow around with a camera crew and just watch people go to work all day every day. Like you gonna have everybody got like drama in their life,
Yeah.
but it's so crazy. Like even if you go into an office, like you work in the office, like you'll even see that. I
Mm-hmm.
think the easiest way to look at it is like Shannon Sharp and Skip. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put the camera on people long enough who have to interact, and these are real people, like this ain't fake. Like these ain't
Yeah.
movies.
These are real
These
lives.
yeah, like these are real men, real people. Like and at the heart of it, when it comes to sports, everybody is, that testosterone runs high. Like we men, like
Yeah.
it's fight or flight for us. But like when you on our team, like
You the dog. But
you like we dog, I go
we
hard
did
behind.
see, but the reason people might think differently is because we saw him hit Jordan Poole. And so
I
that's why
mean,
it's like
but
niggas might
people
be
act
like,
like people,
well, they got into he already hit a nigga.
and
Could
that's why I
happen
say like
again
people.
because Chris
That's why I say
Paul ain't no hoe. Well, I ain't gonna say Jordan Poole a hoe. I think he's a hoe because you don't never even let a nigga put his hands on you like that. Like it's we gotta fight. You gotta
I
square up.
mean, that's why I say like people want that drama, but it's really not that. Like these grown men,
Mhm.
and like this is real.
Yeah.
Like this real life. Like when it come down to winning championships, people laying their life on the line, like their families on the line. So I mean, it
Hmm.
get heated at times, but I think people want it to be like they want that situation to be more than it is.
Yeah.
And I understand because it's entertainment and at the end of the day, we're still here to entertain. But at the end of the day, we real people. This is our job. This is our career, and we're just trying to win the ring. So nobody trying to get into no gangster shit for real.
Not for real. It can happen, but that's not the goal. That's not the
That's not
plan.
the goal at all.
Yeah. All right. Tell me about your clothing line and your relationship with fashion.
So actually, like I did my clothing line with this brand called Ballers Lounge out of Dallas.
Hmm.
Um, and so I mean, it's funny how my relationship with fashion started because it really started when I moved to Vegas. When I lived in Austin, my first couple of years of college, like it's funny because I used to always be like, man, I'm gonna wear white tees and white socks, and I'm gonna be the guy that bring like just plain drip back. And so I did that for a long time. Like I was big in Austin. I'm wearing like white tees everywhere and like
Hmm.
just putting stuff together like subtly. But then I got to Vegas and I just started like I don't know like I just started experimenting more because it's like I was on the West
Probably
Coast. And
seeing so much fashion, so
yeah,
many different types of people come through there. So you probably
exactly,
just looking at the world, like
exactly.
in Vegas.
Exactly. Like I had been in my little bubble, back in Houston, back home. And then I got to college and was still kind of in that bubble. And then I got to Vegas and I was so far away from home. And that was really a time where it was like I got to kind of like find myself. So from that point on, you start going to these stores and it's like, okay, you seeing clothing pieces like, hey, I like that. Okay, well, maybe I don't just like white tees. Like
Maybe I
maybe I
do like
do
this
like
shit.
maybe I do like this vintage tee, this
Maybe I
graphic
do
tee.
want to put this shit on.
Yeah, like that's literally how it started for me. Like maybe I do want to, and then I started, and granted, it was a good thing that like at UNLV, our media team they were big on like showcasing our fashion and all that. So we were one of the first teams that was doing like the tunnel walk fits in college. Like they were still doing it in the league, but like we were one of the first schools that was actually like doing it to where they were taking our pictures coming into the game. So it was just something to where I was like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to actually like
Put that shit on.
like, you know what I'm saying? So I actually just would do it at certain times then. And it's just kind of gotten more and more. And so now, like, I'm really big into it. Just working with different designers, working with different brands, and kind of finding my own style too. And then, just kind of still just like experimenting with stuff. Like, I tried this crazy look on my birthday this year where I had like this open vest and these like space boots. And I was like, okay, well, this is way out of like,
I saw you.
yeah, it was way out of like what I was used to, but it was still like, okay, well, you know, let's see how it goes. And I actually really liked it. I enjoyed it. And so you gotta step out of your comfort zone a little bit. I think that's the biggest thing with fashion is just being able. Because I think I was a guy that was big into like just black and white, and I kind of had to get better at accessorizing, like making sure like okay, the pants go with the shirt and the pants fit on the shoes. Like it was actually fun. Like it became a hobby for me and something that I could actually like put my focus on and spend time on when I was away from the court. That actually helped enhance my brand. Because at the end of the day, like it also brings in more money and more opportunities for me to make more money.
Yeah.
Away from the court and just open up different streams of revenue for myself. So I think that's also a plus side of it.
I hate to bring up that zesty word again, but what do you think about men wearing dresses and stuff and people saying that's just fashion?
I mean, I'm personally the wrong person to ask because it's like my answer is for the most part is always gonna be let people do what they want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's their life. Like if they feel comfortable with their dress on, let them wear their dress. Like it don't it don't hurt me. It don't move me in no type of way. If it actually the crazy thing is if it's tough, I'ma say it's tough. Like I'm not gonna wear it because I personally probably don't see myself wearing a dress. But like for example, Young Thug got the dress on in whatever album. I forgot what album that is. But it's like the picture was tough. The dress was tough. Like it was a tough dress. I wouldn't put
I
it
would
on.
give it a 9 on the sass level.
Yeah, like I
On the
mean,
zesty level.
it's zesty for sure. But I mean,
he put that shit on.
hey, that's why I say like I'm personally like the wrong person to ask because I'm very big on like letting people do what they want to do because at the end of the day, like I really a lot of what will understand about me as like people get to know me more is that like I really am just so locked in on myself and the people around me that I don't have opinions on other people. Like I think I'm so big on trying to live my life and understand that I make a lot of like questionable decisions and choices. So it's like in different realms of life. So when people make questionable decisions and choices in other realms of their life, I'm never the one
Ain't
that's
gonna
going
judge.
to judge. I don't judge nobody for nothing because I think it's your life. I think you should have fun with it because can't nobody tell you nothing. Like do your thing, live it up.
Speaking of choices, why did you leave the Texas Longhorns for the UNLV Running Rebels?
Oh, that was a great question. At the end of the day, it came down to opportunity. My biggest reason for going to Texas at the time was, I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. That, Texas basketball wasn't really on the forefront of the media, and it wasn't being talked a lot about. And like I said, I'm from Houston. I'm a hometown kid, so that's a state school. We had a lot of legends come through there, so it was big for me to go there and really kind of like try to put like Texas men's basketball back on the map. which is something that I accomplished. Like we won the first conference championship in school history. So I was able to accomplish something on the team level that I always wanted to. But at the end of the day, like my ultimate goal was always to make it to the NBA. And so at some point in at some point in time, you know, through my freshman and sophomore year, I was like, okay, well, I just gotta go somewhere where there's a better opportunity for me to do that. And I think UNLV was a great situation. Like I was able to just walk in and kind of just compete. Like,
So did you lose your job, your spot in Texas? Like what you said you a better opportunity. You didn't have the opportunity in Texas?
yeah, the thing is, like there was never anything for me to lose. And that was kind of like, that was one of my main reasons for leaving Texas at the time. Like I'm, I'm one of those people that I like competition. And so it felt like at times in Texas where it didn't matter how good I was, you know, and I think that's a hard lesson to learn. And to be completely honest with you, like you end up learning that lesson when you get to the league. Like sometimes it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes it really is just time and situation and opportunity. So
Mhm.
at 17, 18, you don't really understand that. You like, bro, I came to college to do what I came to college to do. Like I'm not really just looking to sit until my last year of college and try to break out in 1 year. Like I'm trying to,
You trying to get active.
yeah, I'm trying to get active. And I
Active
think all,
shooter.
yeah, like I think all young guys they come in with that mindset. And I think to be completely honest with you, like the way I played up until I got to University of Texas wasn't the way I was being used at Texas
Mhm.
wasn't the I wasn't playing to my strengths. You know, like coming out of high school, like I was more so I hadn't worked on. Like I used to work out, and I was more of like a rhythm shooter. Like I just hit shots as I'm in the flow of the game, but I was always like a more of a playmaking slasher. Um, Coming out of high school, so it was hard when I got to Texas. Like I became a guy that just like sat in the corner, and so I had never done that, and so it was just hard for me. Like my 3-point percentage was low because I get like what we call grenades. Like I get the
Mhm.
ball with maybe like 3 seconds left on the clock, and I had to.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, you
And
know
then
that.
zip
Like,
up your shooting percentage up and
yeah,
everything.
like people, you sat the whole game, and you finally get to shoot the ball with 3 seconds left, and that's your only three of the game. Like, and it just
Mhm.
weighs on you. And people talk about like having confidence, and that 17, 18, that does weigh on your confidence because it's like, bro, like you looking at these numbers, and you like, there's no way like I can get to where I'm trying to go with these numbers. Like I'm realistic about like, yes, I'm nice, but I'm not showing I'm not being able to show what I'm actually nice at. Like I'm actually playing more to my weaknesses when I
Mhm.
get in the game than I am playing to my strengths. So I think that was one of my biggest reasons for also like making that move to UNLV. It was just like we were actually bringing in a whole new staff. They were like whole new roster. It was only 3 guys from the previous year that was still there. So
You felt like you was gonna get a fair shake at the
yeah,
workouts, and they was gonna
and
really see you, and it wasn't gonna be no politics, favoritism, because it's only 3 guys returning. Everybody's new.
yeah,
So
everybody's
I can
new, and
see that.
that's the thing about recruiting. I think a lot of young guys, like um, when you go through recruiting in high school, you're so enamored with the school and you know all the bells and the whistles that you miss out on the important things of okay, what are my goals? Like how long do I want to be in college? What type of player do I want to be? If I go to this school, can I be the type of player that I want to be, or do I have to transition into something different to play at this school? Because like that's the reality of the situation. Like once you get there, it's like you just want to play. So you're gonna do whatever it takes to get on the court. But at the end of the day, is it helping you get to whatever your ultimate goal is? Because everybody's ultimate goal isn't to get to the NBA. Like a lot of guys' goal is to just make as much money in playing basketball as possible, whether it's overseas. Some
Mhm.
guys just want to be able to go to college for free because their parents can't pay for it. Like there's a lot of different reasons. Um, you know, you go to college and you play Division I sports, and so for me going to UNLV was like, okay, well, we all just like you said, we all just get a fair shot. Like when I went through that recruiting the
Mhm.
second time going through the portal, I wasn't looking for the promises. I just wanted a coach to be like, hey, listen, we don't have no favorites. It's everybody's gonna come here this summer, and whoever ends up starting at the end of the summer is the people who earned it. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's
Fair.
natural to me. Like
That's
that's
all you
home
can.
for
That's
me.
all you can really like expect.
Yeah,
Like
like
love. Yeah.
that's where I feel comfortable at. Like if it comes down to just the ability, like when we just gotta go out there and compete for something, like that's where I feel comfortable at. It gets uncomfortable when it becomes like the politics and like, oh, okay, like even the league, like everybody know that about the league. That a lot of times it's not always about who the best is. Always it's sometimes about who getting paid more. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
that is, and that's not just basketball. That's every sport.
Yeah.
That's any, and that's not even just sports. That's anything. It ain't
Yeah.
always about who best. It's always sometimes about who's getting paid more. And so I think that's where it gets a little uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, this this is the highest level. So if you're gonna take it at any level, you're gonna take it here.
Yeah.
But it's hard being 17, 18, trying to understand that at the college level when your mind is so wrapped around, making it to this level, and you don't want anything to kind of get in the way of that or slow your plans down. You want to kind of just do it how you dreamed about doing it. So that was the driving force.
Okay. So this question, I'm just gonna read it, and if it doesn't make sense to you, cool. Because it doesn't make sense to me. But again, I don't know all people asking questions. What do you think of Shaka as a man and as a coach?
That's actually a great question.
Who is that? I have no idea who that is.
That was my head coach at UT.
Oh, okay.
I
So yeah,
think he's a
yeah,
great
I
man.
saw the question. I was like, I don't even know who this is. But go ahead.
I think he's a great man. A lot of people don't know, like he actually helped me. He gave me this book while I was at Texas, um, and really helped me spark like a spiritual journey that has
Mm.
kind of shaped who I am today. So I give him a lot of credit for that. I think it's easy to look at my experience at Texas and for me to be like, oh, I didn't like him as a coach, but like it's just hard. Like when you're not playing a lot, is that's how you gonna feel about your coach. Like,
Mhm.
um, do I think there were things that he could have been more open and transparent about? Yeah, but I also think at 17, 18, like it was hard for me to understand a lot of things that he
What
was telling me.
what you
Um,
saying? He should have told you wasn't gonna get the minutes you thought you was gonna get. 'Cause, I
Realistic, I
mean,
mean, yeah, like,
let's cut the fat off of this.
like I
What
mean, but
so is that what he
realistically,
gassed you?
everybody.
Did he gas you?
And I mean, I will say he gassed me a little bit when I
Coming
was
out?
getting recruited. So I mean,
Uh-huh.
like that's what I say. Like that's one thing is hard, being 17, 18. But realistically, like there was a lot of things like he was like teaching me and trying to get through to me at the time where it was just hard for me to understand, because I'm
Mhm.
17, 18 and I'm not playing. Like all I really want to do is play. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to learn these lessons, but at the end of the
Mhm.
day, man, I'm trying to go to the league. Like that's what I'm thinking about. And so it was it was a great balance. Like he helped me kind of understand, how to interact with my coach, like how to be on the same page. 'Cause I think a lot of times me and him just like weren't on the same page, and I think from that point on, going into UNLV, going into the NBA, I was able to understand and listen and be able to communicate uh, a little bit better. But I mean, you're 17, 18, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of living and learning, can you take a girl serious that was once with your homie?
Yeah.
I love you. Let me tell you something about Donovan. You don't give a fuck what nobody think. You gonna say how you really feel. A lot of niggas would sit up here and act like hell no. No, like I've seen so many men miss out on opportunities with great women just because they homeboy dated her and fucked her over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh well, don't fuck with her because she was mine. You treated her like shit and she a good woman. And I'm gonna go
That's
get her.
like that goes. I think that touches a little bit on that sassiness a little bit, that word we talked about.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I mean, like realistically, like that's what women do. Women tell you like, oh, I mess with him, you can't talk to him. Like women do that. We
Yeah.
can't like you not gonna mess with her because she mess with your homie. Like now, don't take her from your homie because I mean the same. Because there is a saying. There
That's
is
a
a saying.
violation. How you get them?
The how you get it is how you lose her.
Yes.
So I mean that is the saying, but also understand like don't prey on your homie girl, but don't also like she messed with my homie 3 years ago, so I can't like.
Is there a time limit? Like how long do you have to give it before you could spin the block on a girl that your homie dated?
One, I think it depends on how close you and said bro are,
Uh-huh.
and two, to be honest, I think it just depends on how close you and yeah.
The guy.
I think at least you give it a little bit of time.
Or maybe like what if they was really in love? Does that matter? Like if they was deep in love and it didn't work out, like is there you have to give it more time? Because
Yeah, yeah.
they was together 5 years, you like gotta give it at least 2 years. I don't know.
Like I feel like that's why I say one. It depends on how close you like. If this is your man's, like somebody that you see every day, or somebody that you
Mhm.
see a lot, that you consider to be one of your close friends, and it's like the conversation got to be had because that's gonna be awkward
Mhm.
as hell. But two, I don't think you could ever like depend, regardless of how close y'all are. I don't think it's cool to just do it immediately because then it kind of it'll
Looked
make your
like you was
homie.
waiting.
Yeah, it'll make your homie feel like you was either waiting or you was already messing with her while they was.
Yeah.
Cause how you just go mess with my girl, or how my girl gonna go mess with my homie that fast? Like either
Yeah.
both of y'all was plotting or both of y'all
Yeah.
was waiting. You know what I'm saying? So either way, I think regardless of how close y'all are, there's a respect level of time limit for somebody that you consider to be your homie. Like if
Yeah.
you don't consider him to be your homie, then by all means do what you please. But out of respect for your like you say, if they was together now, if they in love and you know they in love, and this is somebody that he didn't talked about, like bro, I hope this shit work out, and you see him real like fucked up about the breakup and everything. No, there is
Hands
no,
off.
there is no,
Hands
there
off.
is no respectful way for you to slide in there. Like no, like
Yeah.
this your bro, and he coming to you and telling you like, hey bro, like damn, like I ain't seen it, like she don't be
Because
answering the
what if
phone.
he want
You
to
over
spin
here,
the block back? What if he want to, spin his own block? Get it, go back and get his girl, and you there
yeah,
now?
like let him go. Like if this your homie, you supposed to one be encourage him to go get his girl because you see him. Like if this is your homie, like you supposed to feel
And you
for
think
him.
she a good woman? Yeah.
Yeah, like you supposed to feel for him. Like when he coming to you, like because as a man, you know how hard it is to open up about a woman and you lost her. So it's
Yeah.
like if he coming to you about it and you backdooring, like I hear you, but it's my turn. And like that's like
Does it
I,
does it make it does it make it better if you just go fuck her? Because I'm thinking like, what makes it worse if you like wife her? Imagine your nigga was with a girl. Let's just say they was together like a year and a half, and it didn't work out. And then a year later, you run into her. She's still fine. She's a good woman. You remember she was a good woman. That nigga was probably bullshitting with her, right?
uh-huh.
And then you go and lock in with her, and then you marry her. Your
Yeah,
loss, nigga. Your loss.
yeah,
She's a
like
good one.
that I don't feel like that's the same situation because like if you
Yeah,
know he was on bullshit and
yeah,
it ain't work out and yeah you see you run into her a year later and your homeboy off with his own doing his own thing with his women and
yeah.
you single she single, like yeah, that's a perfect situation. Like I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but I think like if it's like okay, yeah, they just broke up like last month and bro
Yeah.
still messed up about it. He coming to you like, dang, bro, like I'm really, you know what I'm saying? She ain't answering my calls, this and this. And
And
even
you
if like
already
I feel like even as a homeboy, like even if she come on to you like, yeah, like, I liked him, but I really like you now. Like that's why I say you got if that's your dog,
yeah
can't do
have
it.
a conversation.
I just feel like you can't do it. because it's like
or have a conversation about it, because honestly, sometimes the right person is right there next to you, but like she was just fucking with your homie.
that is true, and that's why I say like there's a level of time to give it. Because if this is your homie and he really like you say, he ain't like we say, he ain't been bullshitting. Like whatever the situation is, it is what it is. And they try like he trying to find a way. He's telling you he trying to find a way to make it work. You got to give him time to
Step
like
back,
try
slide
to like
out of there.
work that work. If it don't work, then it don't work. And then it's like now you got to tell him like, hey, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I like that's if you like it. It can't be like, oh yeah, like I'm just trying to hit, because then now you gonna cause dissension between you and your homie, and it's gonna cause issues between your homie and said lady. So
Yeah.
you just gonna be in the middle of a whole bunch of drama if you do it like that.
One last piece of this question: does it matter if they have kids together?
Yeah, of course,
That's
because
a whole different thing. Yeah.
now you interrupting the family, because it's like
Yeah.
you definitely can't just
She better be wifey. She better be
yeah, like you definitely
wifey
can't just
if you
you
doing that.
definitely can't just slide in like as they like, oh, we like they just broke up and they like on a break, and you just like slide in and go hit her like on the low while they on the break. Cause then
Yeah.
like women do get petty and be like, that's why your homeboy like, and so now it's
That's
like,
why your homeboy eat pussy better than you.
yeah, so now like you down the line and it's like, bro, like what? Like now as a like we said, like men kill over their wife.
Yeah.
So now it's like she was just trying to hurt his feelings because she
Mhm.
mad in the moment, and now like she didn't really hurt him too deep, because he gonna still want to stay with her, but now he got beef with you, and you shouldn't. It's just that's why I say too much drama.
Mhm. This is a good question here. Top 3 deal breakers for a potential girlfriend. Now, let me say this. You're 22, right? I remember when I was 22, I had deal breakers that I laugh at now. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you think your deal breakers are for someone that you would lock in with at 22.
Well, my first one would be just like when you talk to somebody like I said earlier, just somebody's ability not to take it not take accountability. But I feel like you can see that early with somebody. Like if everything around them that goes wrong in their life is everybody else's fault, then that's like a red flag. Like that's a
Mhm.
red flag. You don't take accountability for nothing that go wrong in your own life. Like okay, that's a red flag. Um, I think outside of that, um, a deal breaker.
What
I don't
about,
really,
go ahead.
I don't really have too many deal breakers. Like there's certain things that um, like there are certain things that I look for like that. Like and it's more like personality wise.
Hmm.
Um, so if you're more of a like I say, don't lack of accountability is one for me, but I mean, I also feel like a deal breaker is a woman that can't cook. I feel like I'm a down south man. Like my mama grew up cooking for me. Like I like yeah. Like I don't want a woman who can't cook. Like if it gets to a point where okay, we together at times and it's like okay, we eating out like cool, but you gotta at least be able to cook so that you know, like we say, I don't want you to turn into a food bill where it's like every time we gotta eat, we gotta order something. Like you can't cook nothing, like or you don't want to cook or you have no interest in cooking.
What if she cooked the same thing every night? Alfredo.
That's a deal breaker too, because I don't want Alfredo every night. Like that's why I say you have to be able to cook. Like there's one thing to want to cook, which is great, because that would be a deal breaker if you didn't want to cook and didn't have no interest in cooking. Like
But what about the man? Do you think that the man should be able to cook as well?
yeah, like I think I gotta know how to cook, so that's why I say like because I can do it for myself. That's why I say deal breakers should sometimes be things that like you can do for yourself, but like you would want somebody else to do. Like I can cook. Like right now, I have my own house. Like so, I in the summer times when I'm back home, like I cook for myself a lot. So it would be nice to have somebody that could do it for me because I do go to practice and go to games and go work out all day. So it's nice to come home and not have to stand in the kitchen and cook myself a meal at the end of the day. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be hard for me to be with a woman that's like not interested in doing that at all. Where it's like, all right, now I gotta order food. Now I gotta figure some stuff out. Sometimes like I just wanna like it's nice even
You
having the
wouldn't want a
chefs.
home cooked meal like fresh off the stove.
Yeah,
You know, when
I,
you ordering stuff, it's cool, but like it had to travel there,
yeah.
and then a lot of
Or we gotta
times
get
you
up
order
and go
stuff.
there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like let's go out to eat. Like I'm tired. Like I just want to sit on my couch and eat tonight. You know, and I don't
yeah,
want to have to pay a chef to come do it all the time. Like that becomes a bill too when it's like you right here. Like, but that's
you right.
also like it goes back to how I was raised. Like my mom cooked all the time, so that's something that
Yeah,
you look for. Um, but then that's two. I think
yeah.
I don't know what the third one would be, to be honest with you right now.
Well, my deal breakers. This was in my 30s because when I was in my 20s, I laughed, like I said. But in my 30s, what I learned is like through dating that I don't like dating non-athletes.
Makes sense.
Like it don't work out. It's just not for me. I talk about sports too much.
Yeah.
Like you could be a fan of it or you could like work out. Like you got to be active like in the gym. Like I dated men that weren't athletes and I would go to LA Fitness and be in there 6 hours
Hmm.
hooping.
Yeah.
You get on a run and then you lose. You got downs like you down 6 games. You got to wait till your
Yeah.
next. And niggas that don't hoop or don't know that be like, What? Why was you at LA Fitness for 6 hours? And I'm like, I was hooping. They're like, no, no, you wasn't. And I'm like, yeah, a
Causes
nigga was.
problems.
You
Yeah,
know
you
what I
need
mean? So
somebody that
they,
understands you.
huh?
I said you need somebody that understands you.
Yeah, that understands like the things of an athletic woman, even.
Yeah.
Like I don't wear makeup all the time. Like
Yeah.
I don't see the point of that. You know what I mean? Like men be wanting like a girly girl all the time. No,
Yeah.
I'm natural. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like
facts. Bro.
I like to look. I call that you know a costume. When
Yeah.
I wear makeup, like that's a once in a blue moon type of thing for me.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
know, so a
And that
men that date athletes, they know that. They know we're not gonna have a pound of makeup on when we hooping or we working out. Like we don't. That's not what we do. Not
mhm.
everybody. Some women I've seen them do it, but most women that play sports, we don't do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I always needed to date a man that was either an athlete or into sports and all that. I also learned that I needed to date a man that was open to me changing his diet because of the way I eat,
Mhm.
and things like that. That was important for me to be like, okay, you could
Yeah.
come how you are, but you gotta. This is what I'm cooking, and I'm cooking every day.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men like see vegan food and they just like they become scientists. Like, what is this? But you give them McDonald's, they don't ask a single fucking question. This is going right in their mouth. They don't know
Because it's
where that
what
shit
we
came
used to.
from. Yeah.
That's like with anything though. We like cavemen and that. Like it's like I know I don't know what's in McDonald's, but I ate McDonald's enough that I know what it's gonna do to me. I know what it tastes like. When you give me something vegan, it's like I ain't never seen. Like I'm an alien. Like I'm an alien to this. I'm ignorant to it. I don't. Yeah, like I'm gonna smell it. I don't know what this is, and then it smells different because, like, and like we say, like we know that about fast food. We know that about like things that we like. It's the smells and the aromas, and then we know about the
Mhm.
chemicals and all that. So people like are we're trained to just
Programmed.
we're programmed to just not care. And then when you smell food that's like real and it's natural and it's produce and all that, then you like, why it smell like that? Like, bro, it's real.
Because it's real. That's how I really smell. I learned that about people. People tell me how much they love tomatoes because they like ketchup. And then
Yeah,
you cook them something with real tomatoes and they just like, oh,
yeah,
whoa. But that's how
yeah,
tomatoes taste.
yeah.
Ketchup is not tomatoes. Like it's just not, you know? And my third deal breaker I learned was like sex. Like
Mhm.
I learned that I have a high sexual appetite and I needed somebody that could keep up.
That's a valid point. I feel like everybody
because
does. Yeah.
yeah, I need somebody equally on that same uh
On that same
level.
wavelength with you, yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like everybody had. I feel like everybody has that in that regard in terms of just wanting somebody that's on the same page. So yeah, no, I can agree with that one too as well.
yeah. All right, here's a question for you. Your sister Kelsey Bone was a top 5 pick in the WNBA and an all-star. Is there any pressure on you to duplicate her success?
No,
Y'all don't compete. It don't
like
be like you don't know how you ever hear the stories about Reggie and Cheryl Miller? Y'all
like
don't be like that.
yeah. I mean, we're competitive with each other, but like for example, she just had 52 and 12 the other day overseas.
I
Like
saw you posted that. That shit was crazy. That stat line was crazy.
she had 52 and 12. Like she's overseas playing like 52 and 12. She has a EuroLeague championship. She has a like to be completely honest with you, there's no pressure on me now because like I've already lost. Like she was the number one player in high school. She has a gold medal. Like she was McDonald's All American. Like I lost coming out of high school because I like luckily I was able to work to not luckily but I was able to work my way to a point to where I was a 4-star and I was able to go to UT and all that. But like she has she has a national championship from when Texas A&M won. Now granted that was her transfer year and she didn't play, but she got a national championship ring. I have a conference championship ring with Texas, so she has a FIBA World Cup. Like there's a lot of things where it's like I don't like me personally. Like I said, I
She
don't compete
won.
with nobody. Like
She won. Yeah, she got
I'm
that.
real life just out here doing my own thing. That's why I love
Mhm.
to say and let everybody else do their own thing. But with Kelsey especially, like we play one on one. Like we don't even play the same. So even when we
She's
play
a
ones, like
center.
yeah, like when we play ones, I could beat her now. Like if we was, she won't even play me in one on one because it's like
She can't keep up with you now.
yeah,
But
like if we was to play
younger,
ones, then yeah, like we gonna roll the ball out there and we gonna compete. But in terms of me trying to like duplicate her success, like she's a top 5 draft pick. I went undrafted. You know what I'm saying? Like she had a Nike contract. I like when she signed. So for me, like I was just blessed to watch her do all that, and I think it's cool. Honestly, I think it's cool that our journeys are actually a little bit different. Um, like a lot of her success was early on, like going
mhm.
into like high school, college, number one player out of high school, top 5 draft pick, and she was an all star and able to do all these things so early. And so now, like mine was a little my I've seen what it looks like to have a lot of early success, and so now it's like I get to do kind of like the opposite and have a different backstory and a different come up story. And now, when it's all said and done for me, then we both just get to kick back and just look at our journeys and look at everything and be
And
like,
be
damn,
proud of each other.
yeah, like we proud of each
Yeah.
other because it's like you did what I did what you did, and like it's just cool that we just at some point we'll just get to kick back as siblings and be like, damn, like we really cool as hell. Like, yeah,
Yeah, that's hard.
yeah.
Um, we only have a few more questions left, and we'll be done. What was the first thing? What's the first thing you're gonna buy when you get your first NBA game check?
Uh, I mean, what was the first thing I did buy? Um,
I think this question is probably related to you, like being on an actual roster. Like,
well, see that was the thing. Like when I was with
what's
Atlanta,
the
like
difference financially? Is a different check, right?
yeah, it's a different check. So like even like when I shot my 2-way with Atlanta, like I got my game. Like my first actual NBA game check came last season. Like the last because I
Okay.
played the last 2 games of the season. So like I mean, realistically, I mean,
What's
I think I
something
bought
you?
some.
How about this? How about this? What's something that you've been wanting to spoil yourself with? Like something where you just like, you know what?
Uh,
I'm finna just show off for myself real quick. You know?
I've been wanting to spoil myself with a trip to I've been where the I've been wanting to actually go to a couple places, but I want to go like island hopping in Italy. So
Mm.
that would be more so of like a next summer type of thing. But that is something that I've been looking forward to because I bought my house. Like my house and my car were two big things for me. Like had you
Mm.
asked me this question last season, those would have been my answers. So I was able to accomplish both of those goals this summer. So I was able to check those off. So now it's like for me, I'm not big into like material things. I like experiences. So like I would
Mm.
really,
You
I
so
would,
mature. This is crazy.
yeah, like I would
I'm,
want to
I'm
ball
just
out with
thinking
my.
I'm finna hear like a watch, a fucking
Nah, I do want to
cake, a
get. I want
race.
to get my some of my STG chain was stolen last season. Um,
Somebody stole your chain? From where?
it happened during the game. Like it got stolen out of my locker. Um,
Where?
I think we were playing the Knicks. Um, but and it was
Hmm.
crazy because it was really like Friday. It was like, damn, my mama bought me that chain. They
My
really stole
mama
the
bought
chain.
me that chain.
They really stole the chain my mama bought me, so that was kind of tough. But like I don't even now, like I'm not as big into like a lot of guys are big into cars. They I want the such and such S5. Like I don't really keep up. Like I try to, but I'm more so like of an experienced type of guy. So like I would want to really ball out and like bring my brother, my mom, my dad, my sister, and like really just kind of like take my whole family, just out to Italy and we all just go island hopping and we get on boats and being able to ball out with my people and then just like take pictures and videos like that would be something that I look forward to doing. I can't really do it during the season, but that's something that I would really look forward to doing like next summer.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Besides yourself, who's a player on the Warriors you think is being slept on? Why?
That's a great question.
It
Um,
doesn't have to be a non-starter. It could be a starter too. Like, let me just give my opinion. So, and I know that's your team and everything, but it is of my opinion that Clay is not the same player, right? To me,
uh, you
in
think he's being slept on in a positive way or a negative way?
a negative way.
Okay.
Like I feel like and it's me. I'm guilty. I'm
Yeah.
I'm guilty of thinking he's not the same. Like I know the Clay I used to be like he was a nightmare. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? On both sides of the court. And since the surgeries and all that, I don't really see that now. But I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in practice. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what's going
I mean,
on.
at the end of the day, it's like it's natural, like human progression. Like it's easy for me to even say the same thing. Like watching CP and watching Steph and watching Dre and Clay. It's like this ain't 2015 no more. It's almost 10
Yeah.
years since they won their first ring.
Niggas getting old.
Like,
It
and not even
changing.
not even in a bad way. Like
Yeah.
we can't,
Yes.
we can't, we can't. I can't even expect Clay to be the same Clay from 2015, 2016. Now, granted, it's hard when these are the guys that that you end up watching. It's like, all right, well, you know, that's how you know that the league is changing because it's like, man, like you watch them, it's just like, yeah, they spend more time in the training room nowadays. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that they're making sure that their bodies are okay because they know they can play the game. Like
Hmm.
there's a you get to a point to where you can only get so much more skilled. Like Steph can only like unless he starts shooting the ball like backwards in the game, like there's only so many new like skills he can add.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like
So
you
it's
just
never
at this point it's
you
just
chasing an expectation that's not even
yeah, like that's like people
yeah.
with music. Like you expect like people say the same thing about Drake. Like you expect Drake to keep making classics. Like eventually like he getting old. Like
Hmm.
Drake can't keep making classics. Like he made classics years and years ago. Like we can't keep expecting everything to be, oh, why it's not the same like it used to be. It's not. Um, but I will say, in my opinion, I would say somebody that's being slept on is probably And I wouldn't even say Moses is slept on. I just think Moses is
Mm.
really tough. Like I think bro got a lot of game. You know what I'm saying? Like just watching him in practice, he kind of quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's what you like about Mo. Like he's very professional. Like he in his third year in the league, and so I think that's somebody that's quietly like like he really could go. And so it's just it's a blessing for him to kind of be in this system and be around these guys because he's had 3 years to just like learn so much. So I'm trying to be like him. Like he had 3 years learning behind
Mhm.
them and getting his ring and everything. So I think it's cool just to see how now it's like okay, he got a ring. He been here 3 years now. It's like you see him work and you see how he moves. So I think he's a little slept on in terms of the team for sure.
Okay. Good question. Good answer. Look at the algorithm. You ready for this? This is how I know the universe is here. They talking to us. Okay.
Okay.
Since everyone has been sharing their opinion on it, for all my dogs, slaps or farts.
Um, to be completely honest with you, like I like it. like I like it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm having the time of my life with it as well, honey. Let me tell you, I don't understand. Like, I think a lot, like, I talked to some of my guy friends, and they were like, well, it's called for all my dogs, and it's a lot of R&B shit on here. And I said, exactly, you niggas is zesty. Niggas,
No, you out of pocket for that. I did not think you was going there with that. Like I did not think that's where that was headed. That's wild.
I'm just saying, it lines up to me. Like, Drake is very female. Like, he's talking to us a
Okay, so
lot.
like that's why I say like to be completely honest, like he has a lot of like the old Drake feel on songs like Bahamas Promises. Like then
Oh,
you have
that shit hard. That
like
song
you
is
have
hard.
Bahamas Promises, Polar
Try,
Opposites,
tried our best.
Try Our Best. Then you have the everybody knows the 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Um and then like you add in the thing that people forget about Drake is that like he's a real life artist. Like he's not subject to just one form of music. So you
Mhm.
listening to an album that doesn't have just one type. Like it's R&B, but then you got the song with Chief Keef. Then you got the song with Yeet. So like Drake is now at the point in his career where he don't have to keep making classics. Like he's making a lot of money. like
And all
like
he
I
needs to do
even
is put out a good body of work, like something that's not where people are like, oh man, fart on all this whole album. Like,
because it's literally like he's not gonna make a complete rap album. You know what I'm saying? Like he even people had that same feeling with Honestly Nevermind. They was like, oh, it sucked. But like people who like house music was like,
that
oh, this
shit
is
was.
great.
I'm sorry, that shit has some great songs too. Like that.
Honestly Nevermind, like
Yes,
people were mad because they were expecting something crazy when they saw like the artwork or oh, we
yes.
want Drake to be like this and like that. And it's like,
Then
okay.
make your
And
own album then. Shit.
yeah,
God
like
damn
make
it.
your own music, bro. Like he's making music for a lot of different people to listen to his music. So
Yes.
a lot of different people can tap in to
Hmm.
like you. It's music, so you don't have to like the whole album. Just go on there. You like a couple songs, listen to him. He not
Yeah.
telling you to like the whole album. Like he not hurting for your opinion at this
Hmm.
point. like
Right.
it's
Like, I
it's
happen to not like the Sexy Red song. I don't like it.
yeah. I mean I'm not
And
a
that's
fan of it.
okay. That doesn't,
It's very much okay. There are people like when you
yeah.
go to the club and when you go to the lounges, people are gonna love that song because it's gonna be situation based. Like even honestly, never mind. A lot of people that were like, "Oh, this sucked," and then eventually they found themselves like on the beach somewhere, or on the boat, or you doing
Straight
something,
up.
and you tipsy and you drunk. You like, hold on, these it do hit
He's
low
trying
key.
to, yeah. That
Yeah,
shit
so
kind of
like
go crazy a little bit.
I feel the same way with like for all my dogs. It's just like, it's music, it's art. Like the same way with basketball. You're not gonna like every game. You're not gonna like every player.
Every decision they make
yeah,
on the
so I mean,
court. Yeah.
just listen to the music if you like it, but don't be like, oh, you tripping. That the album was trash. Okay. Well, I'm not forcing you to like it, so don't force me to not like it.
Right. Okay, this is the last question. Okay.
Cool.
If you didn't hoop, what other sport would you have loved to go pro in?
Swimming.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was actually a swimmer before I started hooping. I played a lot of
What?
sports growing up. Like I played football. I didn't like football just because it was too hot in Texas, so I just didn't get down with the. I didn't get down with football. Like I played wide receiver. I was
So
I
it
was
didn't have nothing to do with getting your head cracked every now and then?
I didn't like getting hit, so it was like I didn't enjoy that. Like I'd leave school and be like, damn, I got football practice today. I gotta go get hit. Like it was. I really used to think like that as a kid. Like, bro, I don't feel like getting hit today. Like,
Yeah, that ain't
So
your sport. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. So
What
it was
what's
like,
what races did you compete in swimming?
so I used to do the 100-meter freestyle. I used to do the butterfly because I've always had long arms. So I used to do freestyle butterfly, and then I used to do like the medley races. But my best stroke was the freestyle. Like I was just
You can get
straight,
after it.
just straight down and back. Like
Damn, they
I,
said
I
black people can't swim.
man,
Tough,
I was like, I got
tough.
medals. I got medals, all that. So, and it would really like with basketball, it became um, basketball. The older you get with the sport, it becomes 24/7. It becomes three. It
You
becomes a
have
year
to.
round. It becomes a year round sport. So, for me, when I got to high school or like late middle school, it was like, okay, now it's time to like lock in and focus because now it's like I want to go to college. I realized that like basketball is like I want to go to the NBA, so I gotta sacrifice. Like I used to be an actor. I used to do a lot of different things, especially like growing up. Like I played football, ran track, was swimming, was an actor, and so like to be a professional, like you gotta sacrifice. So
Mm.
if there was any other sport that I would have loved to just go, like I would have loved to like stay swimming and like work my way to the Olympics, like and try to get on like be an Olympian on that in swimming. So I used to sit in the Olympics and watch Michael Phelps like that year in '08 when he
Mm.
when he broke the record for the gold medals. I watched every race. Like I was almost watching him more than I was watching Braun them that year. But
Yeah, we all were. That's an interesting statement you made. I want to know this because I had a discussion with some friends of mine about the Olympics, and they were trying to say that the Olympics is every athlete's like mecca, like their standard. And I disagree, right? Because NBA players, that's not their goal. They don't give a shit about that gold medal. They play that a lot of times because it's like pressure, force. But you just said as a swimmer, like that's your goal. Why do you think different sports value the Olympics and other ones don't?
because there is no professional league in America, like
Mm-hmm.
with volleyball, like outside of football, basketball, baseball, um,
Soccer.
most of the sports that you can go Division 1, the other sports that you go to college for and you go Division 1, like tennis, like the there is no professional, like even golf, like you have the PGA, then you have tennis that has the Wimbledon and the U.S.
Yeah,
Open and all
yeah.
that, but for the most part, all these other sports you train for the Olympics. Like for track, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you can be a go professional in track, but like you go
No
to
league.
a bunch of different races. And everything is all usually like qualifiers. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to become an Olympian when you
Olympian.
go professional in track. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that's the whole point. Because with basketball, football, baseball, soccer, realistically, like you getting paid. So like as an NBA player, like my goal is to be in the NBA. My goal is to win the NBA championship. Is not to get a gold medal. If I'm a swimmer, like there is no professional swim
Yeah.
league where people in America are
Mm-hmm.
like cheering and you can be on a
Yeah.
team and you represent a city or a state or whatever. It's like, bro, the mecca for a swimmer, a professional swimmer, is to be able to make the Olympics and win a gold medal,
Right.
like medal. So those
I
sports, I realize
agree.
in college, like every sport is different. Like in NFL, football, basketball, like we have leagues. So it's like the mecca is to
Yeah.
be NBA player and win a championship. If you win a gold medal, cool. Like most people that have won a gold medal will tell you, I'll trade this in for a championship ring right now.
Any moment, probably a check more than
Charles
anything.
Barkley will tell you that right now. You can have this gold medal back. Like
Let me get one of the ones Jordan dragged up out of me.
yeah. So I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense though. So like you can kind of understand why it's like
I understand it. I just didn't understand why they didn't get it. I'm just like,
yeah.
no, it's not the
Because
same.
after college, what do you do? Like I have a lot of friends that play professional volleyball. So like as a volleyball player, especially at Texas, like they were the best. And so then like after that, like there is no USA volleyball league that people really like watch. They go overseas. Like you make a
Yeah.
lot of money going overseas and playing volleyball. So now it's like what are you striving for now is the
Right.
Olympics.
Yes. So tell everybody your Instagram and also tell them you have a website for your clothing line.
So my Instagram is STG_stretch. And
What does
then
STG stand for?
SCG, that's my brand. So SCG stands for Strap Team Global. So that was something that me and my brother, we came up with that like in high school, um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like something. You know how like Lil Baby has 4PF, and then like all the rappers got their little groups like YMCMB
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So when we were coming up in high school, everybody wanted to be like Lil Baby. Oh, we want a 4PF chain, and then they wanted to be like Lil Durk, and they was like, oh, we want the 4PF chain.
Okay.
But they say we want the OTF chain from Dirk, and then the young boy fans is like, we 4K Trey, and so it was funny that I was just like I've always kind of been like that. I'm like, bro, I don't like following the crowd. Like I don't like doing that. So we just
Mm-hmm.
came up with
On your
SCG.
own shit.
That's our own thing. So then that's why it
Yeah.
was cool when my mom got me the chain because it was like, damn, like nah, I feel like it's real. Like I can wear it on my chest, like, and it became once you actually like become like go into college and like I became a professional. Also, it was just a Instagram name at first, and then people kept asking me what does the SCG stand for, and then I realized like I just turned it into a brand. I was like I realized what I had lying right in front of me in terms of
Mm-hmm.
business opportunities and like branding, so marketing and why. So I was like, I'm really sitting on the gold mine because like I can really just use this as my brand. Like I have an explanation for it. It has a backstory, um, and so I
There's
just
passion behind it.
yeah, like it's real. Like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. So
Yeah.
it's something that people can get
Right.
behind. And me and my brother, we go so hard behind it. Like our goal is to have everybody just being like SCG. Like, and it's funny because people even send me pictures because you see those letters a lot just like in life like
Mm-hmm.
my friends are sending me pictures of like license plates or
Well,
like
people like it also stands for like swear to God.
yeah like people used to think it stood for swear to God. They was like it's a swear to God stretch. I was like
Yeah.
it's Strap Team Global, but like for me when I made it on Instagram it was like Strap Team General because like I was like global is the brand and then I'm the general like yeah. So like that was it but
Damn. What's the website?
the website is theballerslounge.com. They're a company
Okay.
based out of Dallas, and then we did a special collection, Strap Team Global, um, Tom's Ballers Lounge. So there, we actually have like a couple of hoodies left on that website. So yeah,
Okay.
it's the link is in my bio if anybody wants to go check that out and purchase them a hoodie.
Cool. What is do you know what GTD stands for?
GTD.
GTD. What does GTD stand for?
And okay, give me the context of when you would say it. Like, would you text and say like,
Martin
friend?
said it to Tommy. You watch
Oh,
Martin?
Martin said, "Is it like get the dough or something like that?"
Got the draws.
Got the draws. Oh my god, and it's funny because I was thinking the same thing, but
He was
okay.
being PG about it. I just when I hear STG, it just reminded me of that. Martin is my favorite
GTD.
show of all time. Like how Friends is yours, that is
Yeah,
Martin for me.
Martin makes a lot of sense. I like Martin too though. I like
Yes.
George Lopez a lot though. I was a Nick at Night kind of kid though.
Oh
So
God. Well, thank you again for coming on. I
thank you for
appreciate
having
you,
me.
man. This was real fun. I'm gonna definitely send you the link and make sure you tell your friends to watch
I
and see
will. I will.
how good you did. I'm proud of you.
I will. I got you.
Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 8 of Ask Miko. As always, if you like what you saw, subscribe, send the link around, comment, hit the little bell. And the sooner I get my subscriptions up, the faster I will turn this into an audio podcast because that's what y'all keep begging for. So help me out and I'm going to help y'all out. Peace.